Hello dear learners, hope you are enjoying your learning. In the last video, we have discussed about what culture responsive pedagogy is and what are the characteristics of culture responsive pedagogy. We have also seen that how culture responsive pedagogy helps us to create an equitable learning environment. Now in this video, we will discuss about how its principle works and how this pedagogy is more effective than traditional pedagogy. So let's start with its first principle, that is affirming students in their cultural connections. As we discussed earlier that culture responsive pedagogy is flexible and works where the mixture of varied culture, race, language, ethnicity, etc. prevails. If we analyze our school environment, we can see there are three types of culture. One that already exists in the school, second that students bring in the school, and the third one is created by teacher and student both in a school or in a classroom. Being a teacher, it is our responsibility for developing a connection between the cultures of student and the culture of school. We as a teacher must build a communication bridge that provide a equitable opportunity to students for learning. We can also use students' culture as one way to interpret their behavior and their learning style. All students need motivation to participate in the classroom practices. Students are affirmed by the content, visual, and experiences that relate to their lives. The next principle is being personally inviting. Who is personally inviting? Teachers are personally inviting. Even we can say this principle, when a teacher use culture responsive pedagogy in a classroom, teacher is self-confident and create an open and trusting relationship with the student. He or she values the student as a teacher as well as a learner and build a intellectual climate in the classroom. As a teacher, we can reject the myth of color blindness and celebrates and acknowledges all the deserved perspective of students and their families. Teacher in the culturally responsive classroom continues to be a learner and a reflective practitioner. Teacher will celebrate his or herself as a co-learner. We have to build such environment so that student can enjoy in our presence. We should always create a culture of caring and positive personal regard in our classroom. The next principle is related to the learning environment in the classroom. Creating physical and culturally inviting learning environment. Culture responsive pedagogy paved the way for creating positive and supportive learning environment where everyone can share their cultural background regardless personal biases. Classroom needs to incorporate all these principles to be inviting so that every student and parents can see themselves and their cultures respectively. Students have positive sense of belongingness that this school looks and feels like me. Classroom space is provided for displaying pictures, artifacts, inclusion of different language. This type of climate allows students to express their creativity, communicate to students and parents that this place belongs to us. In that way, as a teacher, we can create a physically and culturally inviting learning environment for the student as well as for their parents. Next one is students are reinforced for academic development. So we have to accommodate our student with caring regardless their race and ethnicity. Research proved that when teachers transmit acceptance and high expectations, students become academically successful. It only depends on teachers' behavior towards the student. Academic rigor is essential to all teaching and learning. Therefore, we must provide experiential and cultural learning enrichment opportunity to the student. We need to understand the brain functioning and the relationship of cognition, culture, and learning. Every teacher should have to understand the connection between how students learn and what are his or her culture. Also, we have to understand the relationship of high interest and motivation, and also have to show genuine respect for cultural ways of knowing. The next principle is accommodating our instruction to the cultural and learning differences of our students. Means we have to change our instruction according to the difference of our students. Difference means their culture and their learning difference. Instruction should be related to their learning style. As we know, when students learn in a way that are natural to them, they will experience increased academic achievement and improved self-esteem. They feel better. We should have to provide the opportunity to demonstrate what they have discovered, learned by various means. We must use meaningful and accessible instructional approach so that they can learn better, achieve better. The instructional approach must be interactive, student-centered, visual, and oriented towards inquiry and problem solving. Curriculum, audiovisual material, and human resources should be used as a representative of varied cultures that are related to our students. Next principle is managing our classroom with firm, consistent, and caring control. We have to engage students in well-planned constructive learning and use effective management approaches that are based on the principle that certain action result in certain consequences. Teacher must assist student in understanding the relationship between school expectations and a school culture. Using culture responsive teaching strategies, teacher can maintain the positive, caring and supportive attitude towards diverse students. In this way, teacher can also promote equity and healthy relationship with their students. So, we should always validate the uniqueness and giftedness of each and every student in our classroom. The next principle is creating opportunities that honor both individuality and the collectivity of our students. In culture responsive classroom, teachers support the cultural worldview of collectivity in their practice rather than stressing on competitive social interaction. The purpose of this worldview collectivity is to provide opportunities for students to develop academic rigor so that they can use their strength and present their work in a group. So, we can use individual and group work as a response to the uniqueness of each student. As we all know, today's schooling has been based on individual performance and the competition. But with the changing time, we have to change our way of teaching so that we can create an environment where academic excellence and cultural identity are identical. Build both modalities into the classroom practices so that all students will be benefited from learning bicultural skills. In that way, we have discussed that how these principles work and how can we create a culture responsive classroom by following these principles.